Have you ever lost confidence in your ability to make decisions? You probably have, because most people have at some point. Confidence is something that wavers. But if you've been on the receiving end of gaslighting, this question probably hits a little bit deeper. Gaslighting is a manipulative tactic that very much affects your ability to make decisions. And it forces you to lose touch with your intuition, which is a very dangerous thing. In this video, I'm going to talk about gaslighting, how it affects our intuition, and what we can do to reconnect with that part of ourselves again. Let's get to it. Welcome to the Common Ego community. My name is Christina, and on this channel, we talk about emotional abuse, spirituality, and self-development. If those topics interest you, be sure you're subscribed. And hit that bell icon so you'll be notified when I post new content. This way, you won't miss a thing. So today we're talking about gaslighting, and gaslighting is a really, really dangerous manipulative tactic. And I'm going to start off with just a refresher on what gaslighting is. So today I'm going to read the definition of gaslighting from the American Psychological Association. So there's no confusion. Gaslighting is a verb, and it means to manipulate another person into doubting his or her perceptions, experiences, or understanding of events. Now, in this definition, it goes on to explain that clinically, gaslighting used to be referred to as a very extreme manipulation tactic, where somebody would often be institutionalized as a result of gaslighting. So when we talk about gaslighting here, it's the same type of manipulation, but not necessarily on such an extreme scale. So to continue reading, the term once referred to manipulation so extreme as to induce mental illness or justify commitment of the gaslighted person to a psychiatric facility. It's now used more generally. And although it is referred to more generally, it is still referring to the same type of manipulation, where somebody is getting another person to question themselves and to question what is real for them in their lives. Maybe their recalling of events or their feelings about a certain thing. So that is gaslighting. And this video is about gaslighting and intuition, so we're going to talk a little bit about what intuition is. Now, intuition is sometimes referred to as a spiritual connection. So you might hear of somebody referred to as intuitive, somebody who is maybe a medium or somebody who has psychic abilities, but that's not always the case. Intuition just refers to messages from your subconscious that give you clues as to what's going on. And you may not receive them as instructions. They're often just feelings. Something feels off. Something seems to be off. And it could be the energy. You could walk into a room and feel that the energy is off, or it could be subtle cues that are so subtle that your conscious mind doesn't pick up on them, but your subconscious does. And it sends that message to you that something isn't right here. So everyone has that ability. Everyone has the ability to sense what's going on. Some people trust it more than others, and everyone can react differently to it. So the way you react to your intuition is going to depend very much on your life experiences. For example, if you get a glimpse of something that reminds you of something that was scary in your past, even if you don't consciously see it, if you get that message from your subconscious that this thing is present again, it's going to make you feel scared. But if you didn't have that experience, you might not get that feeling of being frightened. But this is how intuition works to keep us safe, because we learn from past experiences. And if something was scary to us in the past, there's a good chance it might be scary to us again. So our intuition gives us a clue as to what may be coming in our future. And it gives us a chance to react before we have fully had time to think or process what's going on. Intuition is very, very important. And it's something that we should always be able to trust and rely on. But unfortunately, gaslighting has a major negative impact on intuition, because the things that you think are true, you may have been told are not. You may have been told that you're always wrong and that you can't trust your gut. You might have been met with negative consequences every time you tried to make a decision. So when you have somebody questioning your decisions all the time, it kind of becomes the voice in your head. and you always end up questioning your own decisions. So to drive this home, I want to give you some examples of how manipulative gaslighting works to destroy your ability to make decisions and trust your own gut, trust your intuition. So one thing that a manipulator will do is they will use something true to get you to doubt yourself in probably every situation. So let's say you made a mistake once and you thought you were right, but you were wrong. They will constantly bring this up to get you to question yourself before you make any decision. So, hey, you remember that time you were wrong about that? You're probably wrong about this too. Maybe you should sit back and let somebody else handle this. Another way that a manipulative person will gaslight you to make you feel like you can't make decisions is that they will manipulate the truth in a situation. Usually they'll do this to hide something. So maybe it's something that you've seen. Maybe it's your gut feeling. Maybe it's your intuition, and you've seen enough clues to know that you can rely on your gut. But yet this person goes to great lengths to make sure that you don't. And they may even make you feel like you're the problem, like you're the one who's done something wrong. This is very common when you're dealing with gaslighting, that they'll turn it around on you and try to make you defend yourself when really you've done nothing wrong and it's the other person who's hiding something. So an example is your partner's cheating and everything is telling you that they're cheating. You have this gut feeling, you just know it, and you overheard parts of an inappropriate phone call. And that for you just confirmed it enough to confront this person. And this person goes to great lengths to make you believe that you did not hear what you heard and that you can't trust your gut and that you're completely wrong about all of it. And maybe you have a guilty conscience because you're the one who's cheating. And then it turns into a big thing where you're defending yourself. And although you know you weren't the one who's cheating, this is often effective at getting the person to question their original belief or the undeniable facts about a situation. It creates confusion and it turns things around, because when we're in a defensive mode, we're not really thinking as clearly as we would be if we were not in that defensive mode. So another way that somebody who is gaslighting you might get you to question your every decision is by planting seeds of doubt in every decision you make. So this could also be known as playing devil's advocate, but it can be done on such an extreme level. The decision's so small that you feel like you can't do anything without considering every possible, even highly unlikely scenario. And these people who do this, you'll notice they never apply it to their own lives. They only apply it to decisions that you're making. They have the utmost confidence in everything they do. So those are just a few ways that being with a manipulative person can make you doubt yourself and ultimately doubt your own intuition. It can get you to turn away from that gut feeling that's really there to keep you safe. Okay, so we've identified the problem. How do we fix it? And unfortunately, there's no quick solution. In fact, depending on your situation, how long you've dealt with gaslighting, whether it was present from childhood, if it's been a lifetime of gaslighting and the gaslighting was extreme, it may take years of therapy to actually overcome this. But there are things you can do now alongside therapy, or if you're just feeling a little bit shaken after an encounter with a narcissist or somebody else who's gaslighting you, there are things that you can do yourself to help yourself feel more confident and trusting your intuition again. And one of the big things you can do is practice mindfulness. So reconnecting with you and who you are. Mindfulness helps us understand what is important in life and what is true and what is real. Gaslighting will take you really far away from this, and it will take you really far away from your own thoughts and feelings, because you end up having that other person in your head all the time. So practicing mindfulness can really help. And if you meditate, meditation can be very powerful. The second thing you can do is keep a journal of your thoughts and feelings. The simple act of writing it out, getting it out of your head and onto paper, can be therapeutic. And it can also help to go back and look at these things later on. And if you make an effort to journal every time you have that kind of what you think is a gut feeling, what you think is an intuition, you may be able to go back and see that, well, I was right about this and I was right about that. And this can give you more confidence in trusting your gut again. So another thing that is important to do, especially after gaslighting, is to validate your own thoughts and feelings. Now, somebody who's gaslighting you is going to go to great lengths to invalidate your thoughts and feelings. But whatever you're thinking or feeling is valid, especially as it relates to you. You are important here. And how you think about a situation or how you feel about a situation, of course, it may change over time. Our thoughts and feelings, they fluctuate, but they are no less valid. If you're hurt by something, it's okay to feel that hurt. If you feel anger, it's okay to feel that anger. It doesn't mean we want to stay in these places. But it's important to validate your own feelings in the aftermath of being in an abusive relationship, especially one where gaslighting is present and somebody has gone to great lengths to invalidate your feelings. And the final tip I have for you is to seek help. And it may be help from a qualified therapist that you trust. And that would be a good place to start if you feel comfortable with that. Another thing you can do is try to read some self-help books. Look for something that speaks to you. Maybe read something about getting in touch with your intuition. Even educating yourself on the natural reactions that are so common after emotional abuse can be helpful, because you can learn that you're not alone and that the things that you're thinking or feeling are valid, not just because you're thinking and feeling them, but because this is a natural result of the abuse that you endured. So again, I wish that there was an easy answer, a quick fix for you, and I don't quite have that. But there are things that you can do to help build yourself up after gaslighting and get in touch again with that intuition that is so crucial to our lives. And the great thing about making an effort to get back in touch with your intuition is that simultaneously, you'll start feeling more yourself. Because getting in touch with your intuition is getting in touch with yourself and who you truly are. So I hope you found this video helpful. And if you did, go ahead and hit that like button. And if you'd like to see more content like this, make sure you're subscribed. Go ahead and check now. And make sure that bell icon is selected. And I will see you next week.